Hey everybody! I am so glad you guys are here. I see some friendly faces and some fresh faces, and I'm so excited. So tonight we are hosting one of our workshops, as you know, and we love being in the kitchen. So we're going to talk a little bit about fermentation, a little bit about your gut and sugar cravings, and a lot about pickles. So no perfection here. This is not about being that chick that grows your entire garden, which
Mm.
I'm desperately trying to be, you guys, but it's just one of those things. We don't do perfection, we just do. So we're going to understand our body in a much simpler way by the time that we are done with this. And hopefully, when you walk away, you will have one tiny thing that you learned either
Mm.
about pickles or about yourself that you can carry forward and basically improve your life. Because, I mean, honestly, cravings, bloatings, crashes, sugar swings, no, they don't belong in the group chat. They don't belong in your body. And we are here to basically get you started on a path where we can leave those things behind.
Oh, heck yeah. And I have to say this for the folks that don't know me. If fixing cravings and all the things was as simple as just use willpower, nobody would need this workshop. Bonnie and I wouldn't be here, right? Because
We
women
would
have been
not.
told all our lives to eat less, just move more, try harder. I love this one. Just stop snacking. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Again, if it was that easy, like none of us would be on this call right now, or be more disciplined. We hate the word discipline, we hate willpower. And it's like, this is what women are told, but no one has ever explained how blood sugar works, why the heck it matters, why regulating your nervous system matters, and some gut bacteria, why the heck that matters. So that is what we're going to talk about as we make pickles and do some fun stuff while we're fueling our gut with super fun, easy way to do it because yeah, I said fun and simple. Right. We want it to be simple. For
Yeah.
those of you that don't know me, my name is Carrie Paglarini, the sugar knockout coach. So I help women with sugar cravings. Yeah, basically that's it. So they can feel like clean eating is easy and lose weight. A big piece of sugar cravings is gut health, which is why I was so excited to partner up with Bonnie since she is an expert in gut health. So, yay, excited about
Yeah.
that.
Very excited. I love that we partnered up. I feel like this was just kind of meant to be because you've got Carrie over
Yeah.
here dealing with sugar addictions and cravings and the psychology and the mindset of it. And then guess what I come in and do? I help you understand your gut, your nervous system, and why your nervous system is having a temper tantrum every time you eat. It's kind of one of those things. It just that's what it does. So I am a formally educated nutritionist and herbalist. Carrie is nationally board certified. So between the two of us, we really are a powerhouse, and our lives are very busy. So one of the things that we love is making things simple, making them easy, because
Mhm.
that is what works in our lives. I have twin boys. Carrie is a single mom of a boy as well. So, hey, Haley, it's
Boy, moms
busy.
rule. Yeah.
Yep, it is busy in our world. So now let's talk about this gut brain connection, and we're going to get into these pickles, okay? So, have you guys heard of the gut brain axis? Your gut and your brain, they're in constant contact, right? The vagus nerve is talking, the opposite side of your body's chattering, everything is going haywire. And what is ultimately happening within your body is your nervous system is responding, whether you want it to or not. Your nervous system is responding. Okay. And this communication loop determines whether you are digesting, whether you're digesting well, whether you're metabolizing food, whether you are now reacting to stress, which can affect digestion, right? And how your bacteria actually is thriving. It could be crashing and burning. You don't know. That communication loop is sending signals, and if they're not listened to, if they're not answered in the way that your body and your nervous system would like it to be, so that you're feeding your gut what you need, then
Mhm.
you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in the meals. You're going to feel it in everything that you do. And one of the crucial ways that we can help our gut is by doing things like making pickles and eating pickles.
Yum. We love pickles. So I wanted to connect this a little bit to sugar cravings, and why this matters, the pickles, the gut health, all of that. So when our gut is off, our cravings get a lot louder. So 90% of our serotonin is made in our gut, our happy hormone. So when we don't have that, we use to be happy, we use sugar because sugar lights up pleasure centers in the brain. We talk about this a lot, because it feels very addictive. It lights up all those pleasure centers. So people are like, you can't be addicted to sugar. Yeah, I was. You absolutely can. But when your blood sugar isn't stable, when you're kind of eating all over the place, and there's no judgment here, like I've done this, we've all done this, right? And so your blood sugar is kind of bouncing up and down all day long. When your blood sugar crashes, this is when you have cravings, like massive sugar
Mhm.
cravings. Your digestion is a mess, right? That was me for a very, very, very long time when I was eating so much sugar. But my gut was so compromised when I was actually eating real food. So I lived on gummy candy and sugary coffee for a really long time, that my gut really wasn't working properly. My intestines were not actually absorbing nutrients when I was eating real food. Stress just felt bigger, right? And food, I was using sugar and food to manage my emotions. I don't know how many of you can relate to that, right? So sometimes your body just needs support and it's sending out signals in the language it knows, which is your habits, right? It's just your habits and your patterns. So the signals that you're getting for sugar, there's so much, there's an emotional piece, but there's so much with gut health that once you support your gut, you have less sugar cravings. So that's what we're super excited to talk about tonight, too.
Yeah. And I mean, fermentation is basically like your digestion and your gut's way of controlling the magic that happens. It feeds the gut bacteria without disturbing anything else happening. It really does create much more balance in that pH that you find in your digestive system, not just your stomach, but within your intestines, within your colon, the whole gamut. Everything that lies within your abdomen is affected by this. So it helps your digestion, it helps with your microbiome and the diversity that we actually need.
Mm,
There are billions of little bacteria strands in there, and we need all of them. Unfortunately, because of certain things like chronic stress, illnesses, medications that we might have been put on, those are things that will kill off bacteria. So we need a way of replenishing that, especially when we are in a place where we have to take prescribed medication. There are ways to support our body through those things, and fermented foods are definitely one of the ways. Additionally, regularity when we're talking about bowel movements, we're talking about gas that you might experience, any intestinal or abdominal cramping that happens throughout your day as you're eating, before or after you're eating. Those are all signals that our body is sending us. Okay. And foods like what we're going to do today, they really do fuel that gut microbiome so exceptionally well that it outweighs a supplement bottle. The
mm.
supplement bottles are definitely fillers. They fill gaps, but to get a good foundation, a good solid base, you want to bring in foods that are fermented that your gut can actually use immediately, digest and metabolize easily because it's something that it recognizes. And from there, it replenishes those gut microbiome. It helps produce your serotonin and all those other happy genes that come out of your gut. And instead of getting signals of deprivation, of stress, of stagnation, now what you're feeling is food. Your body is fed well and it is
Yeah.
returning the favor and saying thank you.
I love that you brought up about supplements and there's a time and a place for supplements, absolutely. Um,
Mhm.
but taking care of yourself and your gut doesn't have to be complicated. We're all about simple. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to come in a tiny package. It can come in this package that you make at home. I think that's what we're really, really excited about. Sometimes it's, cucumbers and water or sauerkraut or any of that good stuff. So, we're giving it the good bacteria, as Bonnie said, to feed our guts and battle sugar cravings. So I want to quickly just go over our list of the things that we have, and then we want to talk about why these ingredients are important. But first, let's make sure we have our cucumbers, right? First, we need those, and some of you may want to cut them up. I have tiny jars, so I'm going to have to cut mine up, but you can put them in whole, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You'll need a mason jar. We need water, filtered water. We need salt, and then whatever spices that you want to put in there. I personally, I know, garlic,
Mine are
dill.
spread
Like
out.
earlier before everyone came on, I was like, this dill smell is so amazing. Like, it's so excited to put those in there. So whatever flavors that you want to put in there. So you can follow along with us, or you can take notes and make this at a time of your choosing after this.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go over ingredients real quick, and then we're going to start throwing these suckers inside the mason jars. And I know I made that sound super easy. We actually do one step before that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. So let's talk about cucumbers. So everyone knows cucumbers are these crunchy foods, right? They taste great in the summer, but why? They're filled with hydration, but additionally, cucumbers actually are one of the foods that are included in an herbal medicine book. Little known
Mm.
fact, because their cleansing properties can actually equal that of a lemon. So if you're somebody that has a vitamin C issue, whether it's allergies or an intolerance, which actually is growing in commonality, then having cucumbers is a great alternative. Now, it's not going to give you the vitamin C, but to get those cleansing benefits that would come from lemons and limes and grapefruits, you can use a cucumber instead of that. So it's crunchy, gets a mastication feeling and sense that is actually part of our digestive tract. When you masticate things, it sends a signal to your brain, hey, I'm eating food. I mean, where'd it go? This is like the biggest cucumber in here right now in my mini cucumbers. It's probably like
Yeah.
maybe 5-10 calories.
Yeah.
Very, very low in calories, but it does an amazing job at filtering through your gut, your intestine, and your microbiome so that you get all these cleansing benefits without having, like a crash and burn cycle. You know those? It doesn't happen. The crunch helps your nervous system understand it's getting healthy, delicious food filled with micronutrients. Very powerful stuff.
I love that. Yeah. Well, and next is salt. So don't be scared of salt. Obviously, if you have some high blood pressure and some other things, you are probably scared of salt. But salt creates the right environment for these little guys to pickle up, but also to help the beneficial bacteria grow. When we have good beneficial bacteria in the right, and there's a little bit of bad bacteria in there sometimes too, but when we have enough of the good, we don't crave sugar. Bad bacteria, when it's out of balance, craves sugar. That's why partnering with Bonnie and getting somebody's gut in check is so amazing, because then they won't be craving sugar anymore. So it's just creating that good bacteria in that environment. And it's just making fermented foods. So when I say fermented foods, what do you all think of? Things like sauerkraut, kimchi, what else? Fermented pickles. Kefir. So we don't kefir and yogurt, there is no salt used, but it's the same kind of process when you think about it. So these foods support digestion. They help us with sugar cravings. They even help us with mood through the gut brain connection. We actually teach a master class on this. So if any of you are interested in that, let us know, because that is really great when our ladies start making that connection. So the next piece is water. Filtered water. Please use filtered water. Somebody had asked me earlier about bottled water. That should be fine. It's the chlorine and tap water that can interfere with the fermentation. So we made sauerkraut at our last one of these, and I make sauerkraut all the time. And I once just rinsed everything off with tap water. And these guys, they would just not ferment because I used tap water. And I was like, this is actually really gross. Because I feel like we have some good filters and all this other stuff here. But anyway, a whole nother thing. But the salt and the water combined are just going to make a brine that is going to allow the beneficial bacteria to grow and create our pickles. And just have those probiotics and all that good stuff grow, and they taste really yummy. So just one other word. Whatever you put in this jar spice wise, the longer it sits, the stronger the flavor it's going to be. Like I have some pickles in there that are 6 month old. They are super garlicky. I love garlic. So just a word of caution of whatever you put in there.
Yep. Yep. And if you're using other spices or you're using other vegetables, like I know JJ's doing onions tonight, which yay, I will not be eating them, but enjoy them. Um, it, if you're using other vegetables besides a cucumber, something to kind of keep in mind is those flavor profiles. If you're doing jalapenos, do you want them garlicky jalapenos? Do you want to have some hatch chilies in there, get some cumin in there? What do you want as far as your flavor profiles? What do you like when you're tasting your pickled onions, your pickled peppers, your I don't even know what it's called, but it's got the cauliflower and the peppers and the oh, I don't even know what it's called. I know
Like
what
the
it looks like.
carrots and stuff in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It, yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but when you do things like that, you really want to pay attention to flavor profile and the flavors that you actually enjoy eating. Because what happens is, as Carrie said, as it ferments, as it sits, the longer it sits, it absorbs all that flavor. And cucumbers are absorbers, you guys. If you haven't tried
Mm.
this yet, try this. I used to have a friend when I worked in the gym many, many, many years ago. She would slice up her cucumbers in the morning and sprinkle it with lime juice and paprika. It was
Oh.
amazing by lunchtime. And the cucumbers were very crispy. So if you haven't tried it, it's definitely one of those off the wall, like I don't know how that would really taste, but it tastes delicious. So think about your flavor profiles,
Mm.
the foods that you actually eat that you enjoy the flavors mixed with when you're doing this and you're choosing other vegetables. Now, I do want to say this because JJ's making onions. So red onions and white onions both have healing properties. They are amazing healers, just like garlic, the garlic clove and the garlic
Hmm.
bulb and the green strands that grow out of it when you forget that you have a garlic clove. Yeah, those are all healing properties in herbal medicine. The most potent, the most healing is the clove. Okay. And
Mm.
really, all you have to do is break it. That's how you extract the clove properties is you just break it or you cut it. You don't need to chop it into a million pieces. The garlic clove is known as the all-around healer for all-around things, as is the onion. The way that they go in order is red onion, garlic bulbs, white onions. Okay. So if you are feeling ill each winter, or you feel like every time the winter seasons hit or spring hits and you're overwhelmed, these are foods that you want to overload on. I mean, literally, you guys, when you're fighting a cold, I want you to be able to repel vampires. Okay. If you eat too much of something, it's going to seep out through your skin, through your sweat, through your hair, through your saliva,
Mm-hmm.
right? Through your armpits. I want you to repel vampires if you are coming down with a cold. In addition to doing that, you're going to add some onions in there. Now we have dill, which is also one of those adaptogens. So what happens with an adaptogen is it helps you with your stress response, and dill is amazing for this. It is delicious. They use it in a lot of Mediterranean foods because it brings in a little bit of the bitterness. So bitter is one of the flavors that our stomach acid actually will calm down with. Okay. So, as you are going through this, please know that the fermentation process that you're using right now, especially, we're looking at bay leaves, we're looking at I have pink Himalayan salt. If you're using Celtic salt, or was it sea salt of any kind, you're going to have some healing properties within that. There are healing properties in salt, I promise you. So now that we have all of that underway, I think Carrie wants to get it.
Yeah, let's put
You
these
ready to get
suckers
started?
together. I
All right.
am. Is everyone ready? I love this part. So well, I have to show you. So you can keep your pickles whole or you can cut them up. So because I have a tiny jar, you're gonna have to squeeze these in tight. So I'm gonna have to cut mine up. Just throwing that out there. But first, what we want to do is I'm gonna make 2 jars. We want to put our herbs in first. So I'm gonna put my dill at the bottom. I'm just using all the dill. I love dill. So
Yeah.
yes, put that in. And then I also was saying that I love garlic. So I have a bunch of cloves that I just kind of smashed up and took the paper off. I'm gonna put those in the bottom too. So
And
as
you
many as
guys
you like. Ooh,
feel free to come on camera and,
yes.
join us here. I will edit you out. It's okay.
And ask questions and all
Yeah.
the good stuff. So,
Yeah.
and
If
I'm
you don't
gonna
want
put
to
a
be on
bay
camera,
leaf.
I'll edit you out. It's all good.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna put a bay leaf at the bottom of each of these.
What kind of water
And
was it
I like
again?
peppercorns.
What kind of what?
Filtered water, so you could use bottled
Filtered.
Filter
water
water.
or filtered
Okay,
water. Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Thank you.
sweet.
Kim, I actually have one of the recipes queued up to put inside the community under a recipes tab. I just didn't get the
Beautiful.
Oh,
chance
nice.
to, I didn't get the chance to
Yeah.
do it before we started. I ran out of time because, I'm a
Yeah.
procrastinator and that's what happens, but you guys already know that.
I
Well, wait.
cheated and just got like a pickling spice mix, but I also got
Oh.
dill. I got dill and garlic to add, so it smells really
Hmm.
good. Because I
Yeah, I
probably
bet it
wouldn't have
does.
gotten everything on the list. This has a little bit of everything. So
Oh, that's
into
Nice.
the
perfect.
jar.
I
Into
was
the
also going to
jar.
add something about your seasonings, just to be ultra not helpful. Don't use iodized salt, because
Yes.
you
Oh,
can
yep.
overdose on iodine if you do that. I didn't know that the first time I made pickles, and I was getting ready to put it in there, and then I saw this like big, huge warning, like don't put iodized salt in there, but it doesn't show up everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you. For sure. Okay. So put all your spices, and then we're gonna make our brine. So the one I'm making is not super salty because this is the way I like it. You can put a little bit more salt in there. So I had 2 cups of water in here. For every cup, I do like a heaping teaspoon. So I'm going to do 2 heaping teaspoons. So like a little mound going on there. So 2 for my 2 cups. And then I just mix this guy up. So I just want to make sure that's mixed. And then we're going to put our veggies in and then pour this to kind of fill in the gaps. So just make sure that it's dissolving. Might take a moment. So when you're packing your veggies, whatever veggies you're using, and Bonnie, I love that you said pickled peppers. Like my grandmother used to make pickled peppers because they canned everything and fermented
Mhm.
everything. They were so good. Like we would eat them at Thanksgiving because she would start them, at the end of the growing season in Rhode Island. I'm going to put that down. But you want to pack them in as tight as possible. So like JJ, when I slice up the onions, like I just pack them down in as much as you want. I am going to have to cut up my cucumbers because like I said,
Mhm.
cucumbers aren't gonna fit in there, but you could just pack whole cucumbers in there if you wanted. You could cut these in half. I'm probably just gonna quarter them and then stuff them in there. That's usually what I do. And then just pack them down in there or pack them as tightly next to each other as you can, if you can see that.
What were
So
those black things you put in there, Carrie? Were those like
oh,
peppercorns or?
yes,
Mhm.
yes, thank you,
Okay.
Kim. I like peppercorns in mine too, and I don't find that the flavor gets too crazy. Whereas like garlic, like that will get intense after a while, but I feel like the peppercorn, it doesn't get as intense.
Yeah.
So what is everybody putting in there? Is anyone doing spice? I know Bonnie loves spice. I am a total wimp when it comes to spice.
I'm actually making mine mild so that the boys can eat them.
Ah, okay.
Um, yeah. And I'm
That's
also using spices that you would typically find like in store-bought not tomatoes, store-bought pickles. So one of the tricks that of course, I asked Chatty about was, how to make these taste like store-bought pickles. Once the fermentation is complete and they're ready basically just to be stored and eaten, then what you can do is throw like 2 tablespoons of vinegar in.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, and I mean I love vinegar. I
I
love
know.
vinegar.
I know.
I love vinegar. So once we get these all packed in, we're going to put the brine on top, and we want the cucumbers to be underneath the brine. So this is what I have found making them. The tighter you pack them, they will stay under the brine once you pour the brine in there. So I'm still kind of cutting these little suckers up and pop these guys in. Actually, I broke one of mine, but that's okay.
Oops.
That's all right. So yeah, I'll just push these pieces down. But yeah, that's what I find keeps them under is that they're packed so tight that they all just stay in there. I love the smell of cucumbers. They're so fresh.
I know, right?
So yummy. And
I bought
actually, it's
Bonnie,
funny.
what
Huh.
did you use to spice it up? Like cayenne or red pepper or
Me, usually I'll use if hatch chilies are in season, which normally happens like August. I like hatch chilies. I like serranos. I do like jalapenos, especially pickled jalapenos. Oh, they're so good.
oh, I
But
Mm,
I
like
like
those
the
too.
smaller, like I like the smaller cucumbers, so I like them whole, and I like the smaller
Yes,
peppers, spicy chilies.
got it. Thank you.
My sister-in-law, of course, she's from Thailand, so like keep that in mind. She does she does the Thai chilies.
mm.
So I put
I could
garlic
get
in mine.
behind a pickled, yeah.
Sorry.
I could get behind a pickled jalapeno. That's all I was going to say about that. Like, I don't do spice, but I feel like I could get behind a pickled jalapeno.
I think I was like 13 and my now aunt, her dad gave me my first pickled jalapeno and my mom was like, "Oh, she won't like that." I loved it. Loved it. I think that was the first
Eh,
time they realized that I like spicy stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, and so it began.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so I have all of these. I mean, these are pretty jam tight in here. How's everyone doing with their stuff jammed in?
I'm getting there.
Okay. I'm like, you
How's
doing
everyone
good? Oh,
else
yeah.
going?
JJ, you got the easy one, right? Yeah, like pack
Oh,
those in. The
I
red
love
onions are
that they're
so
red
good.
onions.
I know. I can't wait to
Good
hear
job.
what
The
you
only
think of them.
downside to the onions is now my hands smell like onion, so
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
they smell like cucumber,
Rub them
You
on some
know,
cucumber.
right?
lemon juice. Lemon juice works all every time.
That's funny. Okay. All right. So make sure my salt has dissolved. And then I can't wait to hear once you try these and then what other stuff everybody tries to like start pickling after.
Yeah. This is
Because that's
this is
always
like
fun.
one of those recipes that will get you started and then
Yeah.
you kind of become a little obsessed.
Yeah. And I love
Gateway
it.
fermentation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
It
old
it, it
school. Like my grandma was doing this. That's what I love about
hmm
this. Awesome. All
I
right.
got I got ambitious. I have 3 jars, but I got one all tightly
Yeah.
packed and
Yeah.
ready.
As I started doing them, I was like, "Oh, do I have enough for the two?" Because I told Brad's brother I would make him a jar because he really likes them. So
I'm a big fan of dill. We're gonna
awesome.
throw more dill in these other two. So
Get the dill in. So now we're just going to, do you have one jar ready, Bonnie?
yep.
Or you wanna, okay.
No, I got a jar
So
ready. Everybody else have a jar ready? I know JJ's got one.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Kim, well, I don't know if Kim's making them as we go. So
I think she and
sweet.
Haley are watching.
Okay, perfect. Yep, you can use this at any other time. So now I'm just going to pour the brine over our cucumbers or onions or whatever other veggie. Make sure that they are underneath the brine. All the brine is covering all of the vegetable or cucumber.
Sorry, guys, I'm driving. I had a friend pass away today. It's been a really crazy
Oh,
day, but
oh
I
my
did have,
gosh, Kim.
yeah, it's just been crazy.
Oh,
So I do have the ingredients. I bought the little English cucumbers, but I will be making them. I'm just not with you guys, but I'm enjoying
You're
just,
watching.
good.
yeah,
You're
you're
good.
so good. Kim, it's been a crazy couple weird days. So,
Hmm.
yeah, we're
Might need to
going
put
in
some
the
extra
theme of
sage or
that.
something in mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, all of us collectively. We need to collectively sage. Okay. So once those are covered, you want to seal your jar as tightly as possible.
Now make sure whatever you have at top that it's pressed into it, like Carrie said, so that it stays under the brine.
Mhm.
Like for me, I packed it so tightly that it's now leaking, which is perfect.
I know this one,
I know.
I love it. This one could use a little tiny bit more actually. But yeah, the tighter you pack them, the more that they will stay. And then put on the lid as tight as you can.
Yeah, and you'll
And then yeah, mine's
notice
filling too.
what happens if you shake
It
it
looks so
in
good.
this.
Look.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, love it. Love it.
Do I need to leave any room at the top of this jar, or can I fill it with brine right to
Mm,
the edge? Because my pickles are floating. My
yeah,
onions
fill
are
it all the way
floating.
up. Fill it all
Okay.
the way up
Yeah.
because
And with the onions, yeah. Oh, go ahead,
you're
Bonnie.
gonna burp it, so it'll let gas out over a few days.
Okay.
So you definitely fill it up. Mine went all the
I need
way
to get
over like to the rim.
I need to
Yeah,
get one of those fancy glass stone thingies that everyone
I
uses.
know.
Oh yeah.
I don't have one of those yet either. And then I eat the leftover cucumber. Whatever little piece is going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm. Yum. These are going to be so good. So good.
Have you
But yeah,
ever
these
made
are
a
going to stay.
bad pickle? Like too
No.
garlicky or too spicy, or
I don't think
Never.
they've
there's
all
such
been
a
edible?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I was just wondering.
Well,
I
here's
love
the thing.
garlic.
When you
I do
go to
too.
taste this, right? Give it a couple days and taste it. You'll be able to see, is it too much garlic? Is it not? And I mean,
Mm,
worst case, you transfer it to another jar and you take some of the like overpowered seasoning out.
Mhm.
okay.
And these, with the brine that we made, these should be good in 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this helps
Where
preserve
do
the
you store
cucumbers.
them? Are you
Yeah,
So
keeping them
this
on the counter or?
Yes. So this is how I do it. That's a great question. I leave them on the counter in a bowl. And just because when I go to burp them, when I go to like let out a little bit of gas each day, it might overflow. Like sometimes these suckers go crazy
Mhm.
and they overflow, and I don't want them to overflow in my counter. And I usually burp them like the same time every day. I do it in the morning, like my morning routine. I'm just gonna go burp my fermented veggies. But check them in 3 to 5 days. Like for me, once they start, like by day 4 or 5, if they're not bubbling that much anymore, I'm like, oh, these are good. Or like Bonnie said, oh, I love the flavor of these. Just go pop them in the fridge after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yum. Oh. And these get
How long
super
do they
tangy.
last in the fridge?
I've only made it like 6 weeks, so I don't know.
I've had mine for a few months and I feel like they still have good flavor and we haven't gotten sick eating them. I don't know if that's like the great answer for it, but
I think once you get them preserved through fermentation, they're good for a while.
Yeah.
that's what I
Like
would think too.
sauerkraut usually lasts a good long time.
Hmm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
fermentation and it's like the sourdough thing, and the sauerkraut is like, ooh, you're fermenting those things. And that fermentation is just like a live being that just continues to bubble and grow and, you know, As long as it's in the fridge, it's preserved.
Gotcha.
And they're so yummy. So
Yeah, they really are.
Love it.
All right. So, sorry, Kim, go ahead.
They probably taste a lot better than the $6 jar at Publix.
They
oh, the
do.
ones that glow in the dark.
Yeah. Yep. Scary.
I don't have a Publix, but I'm going to say they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Mm.
All right, I'm going to cut up this other cucumber, put some water in both of these, and I am done.
Nice.
How is everybody else? Are we all done? Am I the only one still working on this?
That's
All
funny.
right.
I'm like, I'm having a little bit of salt.
There we go. Huh.
Perfect.
Oh, wait. I have space
Wait.
for
Can you
more.
can you pretty much pickle
One more.
anything?
Yes,
Like a tomato or I mean, that sounds
Yeah.
really good to me.
you
That does
can.
sound good.
I mean, they make, sun-dried tomatoes, and that's something that sometimes they'll brine it, and it's not necessarily a pickling per se, but it is a brine that it's
Yeah.
in. And then once it gets to a certain place where it would be considered a fermentation, that's when they dehydrate it.
Hmm.
So technically, you can. Just a
Kim,
different
you have
process.
to experiment and let us know what you experiment with.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. I always like tomatoes, onions, and cucumbers together with like vinegar.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking if I did that together. I know what you were talking about, those like fermented vegetables. It's like a cauliflower and like an Italian
Yeah.
blend. I don't know what they call
Yes.
it,
Yes.
gardancini or something. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
can see it. But that one's just it's not pleasurable to my palate. But I'm thinking like, what are
Yeah.
Not
some
either.
things that I could put together, in a jar? But great
Yes.
ideas.
Yeah. All right. So this is just the beginning. And a lot of
Yay.
times when we do these workshops, this, like I said, it sets people on a whirlwind. Um, Mostly because once you start one thing and you realize how easy it is, I mean, JJ
Mhm.
used a pickling spice packet. That's it. Easy peasy. Boom, boom, done.
Yeah.
That's how it should feel. That's how everything that you do should feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple. We want everything to be simple.
Hmm.
And then once your gut is supported, like you have less sugar cravings, you have less bloating. Like for me, when I was eating so much sugar, like my stomach was a disaster. I always make the joke to Bonnie that I always had like Tums and Gas X in my purse at all times, which is also terrible for you.
Yep.
But yeah, just because my gut was such a disaster. But you also have steadier energy, better mood, which is something we talk about in our master class.
Yeah.
And less, just less I need sugar right now moments, which I don't know about you guys, but I could always still use more of those, right? Still
Hmm.
use more of those. So
Yes. I could always use more of those.
yeah, yeah. So set an alarm to make sure that you're burping these suckers, like I said, every 24 hours. And you'll see like the lid looks like it's like bubbling a little bit. You're like, oh, my little guy's ready to burp. It's
Hmm.
time.
Yep. And if you have any extra dill, throw it in your yogurt and make some tzatziki.
Oh, good idea. I wish I saved
I'm,
some. That's all right. Excuse to go
I'm,
get more.
there you go. I'm totally
Yeah.
doing that when we're done, by the way, you
Yeah.
guys.
I wish I was lived closer. Let's hop on
When I
over.
get past the worst of my next quarantine, I'm planning to teach myself how to make yogurt.
Yay!
Yes.
I have to learn how to make it dairy free. That feels very daunting to
Mm.
me.
Mm.
Challenge. Challenge has
Yeah,
been
they
dropped.
have cultures for that.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They do. It's kind of one of those things, kind of like a class like this where it probably is very, very simple, and I'm making it bigger in my head than it
Mm.
actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically what it boils down to is now my brain has gone into freeze mode and fun mode, and you know, we don't like that.
Hmm.
Eventually that will be broken.
Yeah, that is funny. We all do make everything a little bit more complicated than
Mhm.
in our heads than it actually is when we start doing it. So,
Yes. Yes, absolutely
puppies.
we do. All right, ladies. Well,
Quick
this is
question.
just a little example of what you get inside of the monthly membership, as well
Mhm.
as the lessons that you learn within the 90-day program.
Yeah, it's just
So,
we like to
sorry.
teach real life systems that are easy, that calm cravings, that stabilize energy and mood in a way that works for the individual and their body, not one size fits all. And a lot of people that we meet have done all the one size fits all, and we all know that doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you're tired of trying harder, if you're tired of trying to figure it out for yourself, if you don't know what's happening and you just want to feel better, this is the path that you take to start doing so without restriction. It's
Mhm.
understanding your nervous system. And I do truly mean yours, not mine,
Yeah.
but yours. Because whatever's happening internally is your journey, not anybody else's. And there is not a one size fits all. I mean, I really hate to pull that band-aid off and break that one to you, but there is not a one size fits all when it comes to diet and nutrition, physical fitness, and physiological health and well-being.
Yeah.
So this
And
is just the
also,
start.
I was going to say the mental and emotional also. So we tackle that too, depending on which you need to work on first or both at the same time because they go hand in hand. So there's a lot that we talk about in there and dive deep, and it's amazing. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's everything that we have for you tonight, ladies. If you're interested in taking your pickling journey a little bit further, reach out to us. You're in our community. Don't forget to pay attention to the weekly challenges. They're there for a reason. They help you as well. And I believe our next workshop is probably in about 4 or 5 weeks.
mhm.
So keep your eye out for that. Let us know what you would like to see. If there's a dish you would like to make,
Yeah,
we're all ears.
we love to be in the kitchen. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
This was great. It was pretty informative, and I liked that someone was doing onions. And no, this was cool.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I liked how simple it was. For some reason, I thought pickling was so much harder. Don't ask me why. Apparently, it's just throw some salt water in a jar and you're good. I do have a question about the burping thing. Like, can you ruin it if you burp it too early or too often? Um, like,
Mm,
because mine's very full. I'm afraid if it builds up too much, like, is that going to be a problem?
no, it will
Okay.
not. It won't explode. It shouldn't explode, but because you're doing onions, yours might ferment faster. So
Okay.
just pay attention to it. If it looks like that top is getting a little tight, you just burp it. And
Okay.
that's part of the reason why you want something under it. Like when we
Yeah.
did the sauerkraut and I burped it for the first time, it went everywhere.
Yeah. I have it in a bowl, so we should be good.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
put it in a bigger bowl the first time I burp it, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pay attention to it because you'll see at the top here, you'll see bubbles
mhm.
forming right up
Okay,
in
got
here.
it.
So you'll be
Yep.
able to see and tell, like with the pickles, it's definitely a 24-hour. Pretty typically with anything, it's 24-hour. Sometimes with the sauerkraut and with the onions, because they're so porous, what can
It
happen
happens a
is
little
it just
faster.
it's ready faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just pay attention to the bubbles at the top.
Cool. I'll just do
If
it when I feed my sourdough.
there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. I
Wait,
just
you'll
fed
I
be
my
got
sourdough.
amazed.
a whole
You'll
assembly line of foods that have to be babied. Got it. Yes.
Yeah, but this only needs to be babied for a couple of days, then you throw it in the fridge and you forget about it until you want to eat
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you'll see
Which,
this one working. Like this is what I love about
yeah.
fermentation, like for this kind of stuff, especially with sauerkraut and this, like you'll when you open the jar to burp it, you'll see bubbles. Like you're like, oh, it's doing something, it's working.
And you can taste it too. Like that's the thing about pickles is you should taste it in about 3 days, see if you like the flavor profile. and then taste it in on day 4 and day 5. And the same thing with your onions. See if you like just taste the brine, see if you're liking the scent, see if you're liking the flavor. And if so, then you know that your fermentation is perfect and you throw it in the fridge. That's when you know you're done.
And let us know what you make in the community and how it comes out. We'd love to see
Yeah.
pictures and hear about it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to see your faces here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.